Okay, Genesis. Genesis chapter 6. After God had made the first man Adam, one nation, one peoples. Adam and Eve was the peoples of the black race, because see, this could be confirmed by so many ways by the geographic location upon which it was placed. If you notice today, average body temperature is all the environmental temperature where this man was created range from 70 degrees to about 80 or 90 degrees from January to July. Well, if the normal body temperature is 98.6 and you're in a region where the temperature in itself before you even get out of bed is at a range of 70 degrees up to 90 degrees constant throughout the year, then if you're a person having a low pigment count, the daily heat rays of the sun will just burn clean completely through the body cells and damage the tissue, the soft tissue. They cover the inner organs, the delicate inner organ, and cause you to catch skin cancer. So what we have done here, and this is where we are having our problem today. And here's the second man that came upon the scene, which became the we call white race. Genesis chapter 6. And it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. And the Lord said, My spirit shall not always strive with man, but that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became madmen, which were of old men of renown. Okay, the sons of God we know was spirits of fire, alive creatures. They had a diversified, diverse body. And when they come in the earth, they come through electromagnetic generator field, electromagnetic generator field, which is a hot, excuse me, let me wet my throat a little bit. They have come through this heat, which reached about 2,500 degrees, which is surpassed the human body. Human body couldn't take of it because it's created and made of a substance of earth. But these angels bear children unto the daughters of men. In doing so, they didn't give these offspring a different genetic color code. They diluted the pigmentations in the original human race. Once they diluted the pigmentation in the human race, they created a deformity which thinned the flesh tissue. Once the tissue became thin, then these people became subjected to different infirmities or deformalities where the sun ray, the heat from the sun ray, will penetrate their skin. And once it penetrated their skin, many would die from skin cancer. Well, most of these people had to migrate to the north because of the dense heat down there in Africa, where the first man was created, would be ranging from 70 to 90 degrees. So this is what had happened. Now, going from that far, this peoples was being a product taken from the flesh. It didn't create a color code. It just created peoples having less pigmentation, which would reveal a lack in pigmentation. Once this would come, the genetic color code will automatically change because of the thinning of the tissue. Now, but this is where the daily sacrifice had to come from. God had to, this man was not in the book of life, so God had to go to the original man, the original format of the human race, which was out of the seed of Shem and out of the seed of Ham. He had to take and not change the genetic color code, because you cannot take and mix this back. You can mix this back and make this here three different color. He was only replacing that which had been taken back from the original color. So it tells us the white man was never a white man at all, because he was a product taken from the flesh of the black man. By him being a product taken from the black man, we cannot really, we have to say it's a mixture, but it's not a mixture, because it just being replaced what was taken from that flesh and replacing it back in there. This is what I discovered. But the only way you could do this, you have to go through three mixtures and place it into it in the mix. But you're really not mixing it. You're undone what that which was caused by the angels of God interbreeding with the daughters of men. But you have to take three mixtures in order to and mix them together. But you're not mixing them, but you have to create format in order for the people to see how it was done. But what God done, he had to send Jesus down here to undo the work of Satan, restore that back which was taken from the flesh of the human race, and place it back in compliance in the way it was created. And Jesus had to go to the cross and die and be slain and enter this people's into the book of life, where all human flesh will, through Jesus, through their compliance, would be back in the book of life. This is where we're going with this. This is where we are at today, why that is war. That's the reason I have to explain this to you. So what he did was, he used these 12 tribes who had a father who came out of Shem, who had a mother came out of Japheth, and he covered with the black mother which was out of Ham, entombing that which was taken from the middle of the human flesh, which was of all one single pedigree who was in the book of life, replacing it back into the book of life, back to its originality. This is what it is. But when God had did this, after the 430 years, he tested that flesh when he sent it back down to the near where the first man was born, created in Africa, where the heat rays was 70 and above degrees from January to July. Tested the flesh all who didn't go through that fundamental change, where the lightest color remained on the outside. Many of those perished and died and caught something they call leprosy, where somebody was in spot. But after 430 years plus the 40 years, they remained out in the desert part where there was no water. Some perished because of their leprosy, because all of it didn't mix right. And he let them all stay there until everyone that came out of Egypt perished. And only the children that were born in that day's heat remained, because they had a proper genetic color code and a proper pigmentation to withstand that day's heat, making them people of the black race. God was replacing that which was, but yet including everything that the original man into the book of life, because Jesus had to be born unto that pedigree. But however, after they came out of the land of Egypt, down in that region, and 140 some days southward, there was an enemy who came from the fallen angels, which came through Alexander the Great, was prepared to claim and steal that gospel and pretended it was them who spent these years in slavery in Egypt, trying to steal the whole gospel